Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. We got something new and different out here today. We are bringing back workout streams, live coaching. Nathan Guerra here. And obviously, don't need to even give an introduction, Kristin Armstrong next to me, which is pretty awesome and amazing to have. She has written some pretty awesome workouts here for us. Today, we're doing threshold to VO2 three-step ramps. And in pre-production, I was told that this is not an easy workout. And I'm thinking in my head, like, when a three-time Olympian gold medalist tells me this is not going to be an easy workout, what did I get myself into? So essentially, the format here, everybody, is we watch Nathan suffer while being coached through a workout live, and you get live coaching from Kristin throughout the workout. Kristin, you want to talk a little about what we're doing today?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Thanks so much for having me. Bringing structured rides to the Zwift platform is something I'm ultra passionate about. In fact, it doesn't get much better. So today what we have in store is we're going to spend just a few minutes warming up here. And then we're going to go into what I call a ramp up style warm up, where every 2 minutes, we're going to increase the power output. As you can see on the left-hand side you'll see the ramp ups every 2 minutes. We'll come back down and then we're going to start into our main set, which is first we're going to build from right under threshold to above threshold. And then the next set we go into, we're going to start above that threshold into that VO2 and come down. You can see there's 3 minutes of recovery in between each. But let me just say this out loud right now. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Make sure that you keep true to the power that is suggested on your left-hand side. This is based off of, as we know, our functional threshold power, our FTP. I know it's a big acronym and it means so many things to different people. But at the end of the day, this is going to be the critical piece to make sure that these workouts that you join Nathan and I for are successful. Okay, it's going to help you work in those right zones.
Yeah, do you want to speak to that just a little bit? Because some people might not really understand as we get warmed up here. We'll go ahead and bring the Zwift in as well. Everybody also, if you are in chat and you want to interact, the best place to interact with us is going to be in chat for the live streams. We can interact in game a little bit, but the reality is we can bring in all your questions, all your comments for myself, for Kristin. As we get through the workout, go ahead and bring that all in, and we'll be able to bring those in and answer your questions and comments as well. But for those, there might be a lot of people entering in here who don't even know what's going on with FTP. What are you talking about, Kristin?
So there's a lot of different ways to test FTP, but one thing we know is that if you go to the Zwift workout library, you can find a couple different styles of FTP tests. But the most important thing for you to know about FTP is really how long you can sustain an effort. Some people will say 60 minutes. However, it really is about 40 to 60 minutes. And so what we do is we give our best effort either over a 20-minute duration, or we do it in a ramp style way where every minute we basically go up a power zone until we completely fail. And they take a certain percentage off of that, and that becomes your FTP. So if you were to do a 20-minute effort, 95% of that 20-minute effort is going to be a predictor what you can do for 40 to 60 minutes. This is what we do when we set our zones. Back in the day, and still today, some people like to set zones with power as well as heart rate. So these zones can be set for both power and heart rate, depending on what you are using. And then we have the good old rate of perceived exertion that scale 1 to 10, you can correlate to how you're feeling as well if you don't have power or you don't have heart rate. So I'll speak to that as well as we get through this workout. But here's the thing, is if you don't have an FTP set in your settings, then what happens is when I tell you that we're going to work at 115% of our FTP, it's grabbing from outer space. However, the great thing about Zwift is if you've gone hard for any 20-minute duration on Zwift, it will calculate and plug in that FTP for you. If you're brand new to Zwift, it's something that I really encourage you to do is to go in to the workout library. You'll see a folder called FTP, and you'll choose 20-minute or ramp up. I would recommend, if you're brand new, you don't get in the saddle for long durations, I would recommend that you do the ramp up style of FTP to start. You know, training the mind to go hard for 20 minutes is a beast in its own.
I usually head to Watopia Mountain to have a goal to have to go through to get those done a lot of times. For me personally, just a free ride on that for me and full on. Because the reality is trying to do the mental aspect of a 20-minute all out is part of the training as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's a huge part to that. And if you're not ready for it, I remember the first times I started doing those tests, I blew up for the first 2 years, I think, in the first 5 minutes, being really overzealous, you know, and never got a real number out of it.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, for those of us who ride the majority of time on the Zwift platform, that ramp up style test is really going to nail the FTP that you need. But remember, if you're a hybrid rider where you go outside and you go inside, I recommend that you do a threshold test FTP indoors and outdoors, because what we found is the numbers may vary just a little bit, not a whole heck of a lot, but there are people who really enjoy and can focus a lot more in the Zwift platform versus when they're outdoors and there's a lot of distractions, such as, you know, cars or just the scenery or what have you. It depends on where and how you work.
Yeah, I have some athletes I work with as well who have a lot of trouble finding any roads whatsoever that they can actually do a full test on. And I always get that, well, you know, there was a stop here and the number could have been different because of this. And you get all of those things happening. Whereas jumping on here quickly, you can just, there's no distraction. There's something to be said though to an indoor number versus an outdoor number. Kristin, do you think?
Yeah, I think it does vary. And, you know, you can say the same thing as if you were to, let's say, switch your smart trainer. You always want to make sure, it's like weighing yourself. You're not going to weigh yourself on your home scale and go to the gym and weigh yourself on your gym scale. Compare apples to apples. So if you're switching equipment, indoors or outdoors, even within the indoor world, to a new, let's say, you go from a smart trainer to a smart bike, you need to do a ramp up FTP test or a full FTP test in order for it to be the most accurate, because sometimes when we're getting into a zone that we can barely hold for over a minute, a 5-watt difference is going to be a big deal.
Okay, that's starting to work a little bit now. Feels like we're through the warm up. What am I What are we after? I'm at 2 minutes at 270 for me.
Yeah.
What's our percentages here at this point?
So right now we're still well below threshold. You can look at percentages, but you can also be looking at the colors, because you know that blue is going to be kind of blue sky. When we're in the green, we're still in a very zone 2 aerobic zone. So we should be using this as a ramp up. In our next 2 minutes, we're going to be ramping up into more of that, getting into that zone 3 lower tempo. Okay. So we're still getting warmed up. What I want everyone to pay attention to right now is, if you have cadence, I want you to take note of your cadence right now, because as we start into our first set in about 5-6 minutes, we're going to take note of our cadence from set 1 to set 4. The reason I say this is because oftentimes we can be overzealous with cadence, and as we fatigue, we start grabbing gears, and then by the end, we're doing strength work. Now, the cadence is also going to matter whether or not you're on erg mode or not. So if you have erg mode, if you have your companion app open, on the bottom screen, you're going to see workout. If you click workout, you have a choice of incline or erg mode, okay? Erg mode is going to be a simple way to keep you in the zones prescribed. However, if that cadence can't keep up with that resistance, that load that's going on your wheel, the smart side of the trainer, you can get bogged down. If you find that you get bogged down today, just toggle that button from incline to erg mode and you'll pop right out of it. So no stress, some people love erg mode, but when you're in a structured ride, a lot of people like to take the mind work, and it also takes a shifting out of the equation. It loads that trainer up with the right resistance that's going to hit that zone that you're after.
Quick question.
All right, we're in our last ramp up.
We were going after this specifically. This is aimed at something really specific, I think, for racing a little bit as well.
Correct. So
we were thinking about the classics a little bit, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, so correct. And Bologna is coming up on Tuesday. So I'm not sure how many of you are doing Bologna. But this classic series has absolutely been an amazing series that bring you each week a challenging new course. And so this week happens to be the Bologna course on Tuesday. Some of us know it as a time trial. Others have maybe raced it as kind of a road race style, a little long in duration. But we do know one thing about Bologna. It has a nice climb. That last 2.5K is super stressful, and it will, if you're in that race, you will go above that threshold that's comfortable. So training above your threshold is going to be very important, like we are doing today.
We are getting some comments coming in. Long-time viewer. Great to see you there, Jerry. And he's Jerry Delport from Team ODZ, also a fellow streamer. Awesome to see Jerry in here, letting us know that course is going to hurt ya. Well, we have a little bit as a sneak peek to World of Zwift talking about it. Lumen Passio battle to the top was super interesting a few years back. Definitely check out World of Zwift for all of the course recon and how to take that on, as well as a really awesome moment in history on that course action in the women's field. Good to see you, Debbie, as well. Debbie in shape hanging out here. Also one of our newer additions to the world of streaming over on Twitch. She's been doing, Debbie has been doing Alpe to Zwift almost every day. She's coming out of Belgium and she's been just climbing Alpe to Zwift over and over again. She kind of just makes it a part of her workout day and has been getting personal records, it looks like, up that. And I think Von too, if I'm not incorrect. So pretty awesome.
That's awesome. You know, there's tactics and ways to climb each of those a little bit differently. And of course, Alpe to Zwift is one of my favorites because of the ability to break it up per hairpin. I really like the breaking up of it versus, again, it becomes down to that mental aspect of going hard for a long duration. So just an FYI, we have a minute to go in a recovery. Make sure you have your water bottle. Make sure you have your towel. We're going to start in about 90% of our FTP, okay? That's 10% below. Let me just give you a little tip here. If you get into this and you're into the 3 minutes and you're like, what? Is Kristin crazy? What is this? I can't sustain this. So number one, we're here together because if we don't force our bodies to adapt, we're not going to make change and we're not going to become stronger. I would not be doing this by myself. I have all of you. And so if you're on your companion app, you go to workout. There is on the right-hand side, under the gauge, you have a key that says bias. For a long time, I was like, what is bias? I mean, I
don't have any bias. I don't have any bias.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay, but they're telling me I'm 100%.
I need to decrease my bias. How about we all decrease our bias?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of 2021, right? So if you push that negative, it's going to bring you about 5 watts down in that left-hand column. Okay, you can push it twice, 3 times. You can also push plus if you're like, oh, Kristin, this isn't hard. And so if you push your bias key today more than twice, either way, please, before you join us next week, do an FTP test. I'm cool with feeling good on one day or not so good. But the minute you get 10 watts above what I prescribe, it means you're probably more fit than you really want to believe. So that's just a tip. So we're in it now. Take note of your cadence. Remember, I told you, take note of your cadence. What's that natural cadence that you are feeling? Again, make sure your arms are relaxed, your shoulders are down. And most important is the engagement of that core, because as we fatigue that lower spine, I mean, everyone says—
Am I supposed to be seated or standing, or doesn't matter, Kristin?
Absolutely, you want to be seated on these.
Okay.
Right now, we're going to stay this entire set. All 8 minutes is going to be seated on this first set. We will mix it up in the second set, the third and the fourth. But right now, we're going to produce power in a seated position. We have to recruit our glutes more, use our hamstrings, but most important, do not push that power through that lower back. If you find you're slumping, kind of arch a little bit, make sure that spine is neutral. The first thing that gives is that core engagement. Okay, hours on the bike, over time, over years, will weaken that lower spine, compression. Nice work.
That's why I see
Make sure
huge
you breathe.
benefits from my deadlifts, isn't it, Kristin?
Absolutely. You got to do off the bike training. I didn't do it for years until I had
I
multiple
couldn't believe how
surgeries.
weak I was. I'm winning all these races, and then I get into lifting, and like, oh my gosh.
I know. You kind of want to do it behind closed doors so no one sees you. Until you feel a little stronger.
Okay,
Right,
I'm
make sure.
honestly a little afraid of this 345, of how this is feeling. Here we go.
Well, you can see, Nathan, there's a range, okay? When I tell you to hit the black number, I see that you're quite often hanging out 10 watts below or high, okay? So let's get closer to that 305 if
Gotcha.
you can, okay? It's okay, just don't fall in the red. But again, if you're feeling it right now, bring it down to 305, 300, okay?
I think I'm just feeling the group
Quick
ride
talk.
a couple days ago. I think that's what I'm feeling.
Oh, yeah. Well, that happens on Zwift because my friends give me a hard time. They go, do you ever ride Zwift easy? I'm like, is it possible? I gotta take a day off.
We had a question come through from
Good job.
Mike Lister. Mike, this is not new pack dynamics. It is, yes, it is new pack dynamics. Workout mode has its own pack dynamics that make everybody stay together. Just a heads up. So it's
Yeah,
a group
so
workout,
basically—
everyone stays together.
That's the beauty of the group rides. There's not much banter going on about how I got dropped on a 2.0 watt per kilo ride, okay? So that's the beauty of some structured riding here. It's just like if you go and do a meetup and you can choose to kind of band that group or those guests together or not. Every time you do a structured ride within Zwift, unless you quit pedaling, you're banded together. Okay, we're into that second mode here. We're well into it. We have about 2.5 minutes left. Remember, keep true to that black number. If you're feeling it, make sure you bring it down closer to the target, which is in the yellow, right to the left of the big black number. What's your cadence? Are you keeping it steady? When you ramp up in power, does your cadence stay the same? Are you revving it to match that power? Or are you shifting down? Big question, something to think about. Okay, we want to focus here. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Remember, if your elbows become straight or your shoulders are up, let's relax both, okay? When I say form check, it means you're checking your shoulders, your elbows, your lower spine. Nice work.
Yeah, we're
All right,
starting to come
halfway
up.
through.
I can talk still. I can talk still.
That's good.
We're double wheeling. We're double wheeling now, though.
Nice. You can see, Nathan, I know that you're continually, well, now you're doing it because you can see 350, 355. That's 10 watts. Now you're below. That's cool. It won't pop up and back. That's good. Stay within 5, above or below. You get 7 to 10 above, it goes south real fast. All right, 50 seconds here. And then we have 1 minute and check out our recovery. 3 minutes of recovery. We got this. Okay, nice form check here. What's your body doing? What is your body doing?
It's suffering a little bit.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
It's telling me what's coming. I see red in the future.
I think people are tuning in. People are tuning in just to see you suffer. Nice work. 15 seconds here. I want you to focus on revving up the power through cadence on this last minute. Okay? If your cadence right now is 80, Nathan, this last minute, keep it there. Come on, rev it. Use the torque. Nice, 85. Good job. Nice. You gotta hold that there. You've been holding at 80. Now I've inspired you. You're at 89. You gotta hold it, don't drop. 40 seconds. That torque and that revving is gonna make you really strong. Nice. Okay, 30 seconds. 30-second countdown here. We got it. We got it. Hold it. We're gonna go all the way through the arch. Look up on that right-hand screen. You can see the arch. This next right-hand turn, 15. Push. We're down to 12. Hold it. Come on, we got it. Don't finish a second short. Every second counts. In 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice work. Nice work. Okay, 3 minutes. 3 minutes of hard recovery. Okay, if you recover harder than I'm suggesting, that's okay. Don't stop puddling. Drink some water. I know we're all we're star driven. We want to earn stars. But recovery here is going to be critical to the success of the next 3 sets. Okay? Now what happens here is we're going to start this next set at 115%, okay, of our FTP. That's quite high. It's what we just ended with. That's how we're going to start.
Johnny's coming through with a question.
3 minutes?
It's a good question,
yeah.
Kristin.
Awesome.
Is this the kind of workout you can repeat again and again and increase FTP bias? You get more benefit as time goes on. Thanks, Johnny, on the keep going.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple different ways you can increase FTP. Being in the threshold zone like we are now, yeah, we're popping up to VO2. That's okay. But if you average out these 1, 3, and 4 efforts, it will end up being about your threshold, okay? So some of the ways you can do that, this workout is perfect for that ultimate focus that it's going to take you to just dig deep on that climb, like Bologna. But we can also do workouts where we break it up a little bit more, which I'll bring to you here in the coming weeks, where we might do 3 sets of microburst. Imagine 15 on, 15 off, 20 times, 3 times through, okay? There's a lot of different ways we can trick our mind. But to do this kind of workout more than once a week will wear and tear on your mind, okay? But we can mix it up where we do 6 1-minute efforts all out with complete recovery. That's another great one where you're going so anaerobic that it's going to increase that what I call that fitness box, and it's also going to increase your FTP. So this is an amazing one for those climbing kind of stages, or even to improve your epic KOM. All right, look what's happened. Look what's behind us.
What are we doing here? What is this 1 minute up front? Oh my gosh. We're going the other direction.
We are going to.
Other direction.
Yep, 1 minute. The first 30 seconds, I want you out of the saddle. We're going to sit down for the second 30 seconds, and then we're going to go into 102% of our FTP. Okay, but let's focus on one thing at a time. This 1 minute is going to be 30 out, 30 in. We got 10 seconds.
Aiming for that 85 to 90 for me, it seems like, on that cadence.
Yeah, when you come out of that saddle, people's cadence changes. So don't get too wrapped up on that out of the saddle cadence. But when we're back down in the saddle, I'm going to make sure that you hold true to that cadence. All right, when you're out of the saddle, sometimes it's easy to go in the red too. So keep true to that black number. In 10, we're going to have a seat. That transition, when we transition, try not to drop that power. 3, 2, and have a seat. Push all the way through. Bring that cadence up, Nathan. Nice. Nice. All right, 82. Good job. 15 seconds. We're going to slowly drop down from 115% of FTP to 102. Very doable. The hard part's below us. Now it's in your mind. In 3, stay seated. 2. All right, in 45 seconds, we're going to stand for 15. Good job. Hold it. Keep that cadence up. Come on. Get back to 80. All right. Hold it right here. In 20 seconds, we're going to be up out of the saddle again. We're all active. We're all athletes. We got to move our body when we're on the bike. Indoors, we have to focus on moving our body even more. In 5, 3, 2, and stand. 15. Don't get too high here. Nice. Hips are back. I don't want you leaning on the bars. All right? When we're riding outside, we don't look down. We look forward. Nice. In 2, 1. Have a seat. Have a seat. Transitions are tough. Another way to challenge ourselves. Hold it right here. Hold it right here. In 35 seconds, we're back up. Nice work. Nice work. Come on, Nathan. Cadence is dropping. Hit 80. Get it. All right, 20 seconds, we're up. Nice work. Nice work. In 10. Form check. What's that lower back doing? Elbows, shoulders. Relax. In 3, 2, stand on up. Here we go, up, up, up. Hold it here for 10. Hold it. Push it. 3, in 2, 1, down for the last minute. Rev that cadence back up. Come on, get there. Our next transition, we're going to be well below our threshold, what we call sweet spot, 90% of our FTP. Now, because we've done so much work prior to, it's going to feel harder than 90%. Oh, I promise, if you relax, have good form, and breathe, you will get through it. No doubt. All right, in 5 seconds, last stand up. In 3, 2, stand on up. 15 seconds here, come on. Push it, get to that black. Nice work. Hold it for 5, 3, all the way through. 2, 1, transition. It's quite a drop here. Quite a drop. Can you get back? This is all mental here. 4 solid minutes. This is when you're in a pack. Imagine you're doing Bologna. You thought you were a pretty good climber, but you are having a hard time sticking to that wheel in the flats leading up to the climb. This, my friends, is where your mindset changes. You can now stick to that wheel, no problem, because of what we were just doing. Okay, we gotta train that mind to work hard. Okay, come on, just about 3 minutes here. We know we can do this. Nice. Nathan asked me earlier, I can talk now because he can't. He asked me earlier if this was a good opener for tomorrow. Well, because he did a hard group ride yesterday, I want to say, Nathan, you're entering stage 2 of your stage race. Okay? You will no doubt be open tomorrow. You are going to have to fuel yourself, recover within 30 minutes of this ride to make sure you're your best for whatever it is, whatever event you're doing over the weekend. Okay? But these workouts we're bringing you over the next 6 weeks, I'm telling you, they are game changers. They are game changers. But so much, we couldn't do them alone. We need each other. You got to share the love. Invite people next Friday. Less than 2 minutes here. Less than 2 minutes. Okay, form check. We get relaxed. Breathe. Core is on, engaged. No lower spine slump. Elbows down. Elbows bent. Shoulders down. 140. 140. Come on. If you're not at that cadence, I need you to focus on getting there. Okay? Focus on getting there. I like Zwift because you can use the scenery to get you through. I want you to focus right now on getting through this tunnel. What is it going to take just to get through this tunnel? Don't think about the minute we have left. Just get through the tunnel, then we'll refocus. Come on, nice and relaxed, and breathe. Through the tunnel, through the tunnel. Time is no matter. Good job, good job. All the way through, all the way through. You can see it. Look straight in front of you. Look past the tunnel, look past the group. All the way through. How long will it take to see light? Come on. Good job, Nathan. Getting that cadence back up. Your heart rate is solid. 172. That's where we find ourselves a lot in Zwift racing. Nice work. Nice work. Get through that arch. You can see it. 8 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. We can say we're halfway.
Oh my gosh.
Now you look at my note. Okay. Can we do this?
That was so hard, Kristin. Kristin.
I know. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
Good job.
How did 305?
Take your breath.
305 turned into an RPE of like 8.
See?
Oh.
Yeah.
Whew.
So we got to focus here, and I'll tell you why. We've accomplished getting ourselves to a point of, I like to call it adaptation. If you hop off your bike right now, that's great. You got a good workout in, but have you created change? Okay. Our goal is to create change, but in order to do so, we have to force our body to get to a point where we have to really push through, like really push through. Okay. So this next one, the good news is you can see our 4 minutes is at below threshold, 90%. So we're going to actually build ourselves back up to that VO2. That's always good. So take a minute 45 here. Make sure you're drinking. Make sure you have a towel. Just make sure you relax, okay?
Kristin, this is learning why attacking is harder than chasing. It seems like.
Yeah,
like
actually, I like that.
Forming the break. Like if you put the 115 up front, like it's way harder to hold the 305, right? So the 305 up front, not even close to as bad. And so people attacking, and then, you know, your workhorse goes to the front at 90% and sets a tempo, rotating, and that's why they pull. I mean, I'm thinking about going off the front, why it's so hard to stay away. Oh, man, that was way harder. That second set was so difficult. Oh, man.
I think second sets of anything.
True.
Anyways, maybe I die. I like Michael's comment. Can't imagine how the fourth set block will feel. Anyway, maybe I die at the third. No, you're not going to die at the third. We have each other and we can get through it. It's amazing, the mind. And I can tell you that the second set of anything of 4 is always the hardest because we're not past the halfway point. Okay? We got this because we're going to build up. But I tell you what, that last 4 set, we're going to be so excited. I have a lot of athletes that end up having their 4th set be as good as their first set because they're so excited to be done. So we're going to grab that momentum and keep that positive mindset in 10 seconds.
Reg's coming in. Thanks a lot for the comment, Reg.
Oh, this feels preliminary. I think we've been all waiting for okay. Thank you, Kristin and Suffering Nathan. I love it. Suffering Nathan. Good job, Josh.
We need an emote. We need an emote.
We're here.
For Suffering Nathan.
Yep, Nathan. Nathan, keep focusing on that 305 here. See?
Got it.
Now you're overzealous because you recovered. We're going to be good on this one because you have to ramp up. We're not coming from an attack, right? We've had plenty of time to recover here. Okay, we have 3.5 minutes here. Nice work.
Turn in the fan
After this first minute, we're going to, in about 25 seconds, we're going to stand. So once we hit 3 minutes, we're going to get out of our saddle and we're going to stand. We're going to stand for 30 seconds. Nice. In 10, find that black zone. Nathan, get that cadence up. All right, in 2, climb on up for 30. Climb on up. You got to move your body. You never know when you're trying to get over that roller. Let's practice. Nice. Keep it up here for 15. Remember, our hips are back. You should feel the nose of your saddle between that upper thigh and your arms. It's off the handlebars, okay? We're not leaned on here. We're not slumped over. Have a seat, transition back down. Nice. Nice and steady. Bring that cadence back to 80. Nathan. And everyone else. If your cadence is slowing, bring it back up. Nice work. Look at that. We're hitting the halfway point of this first segment. In 15 seconds, we're going to bring it to standing again. This time, we're going to stand for 45. Nice job. In 5, in 3, 2, climb on up here. Climb on up. We're going to stay out of the saddle until we hit 1 minute. Okay, 35. Good form, good form. Hips are back, elbows bent. Hold it. Just get in the rhythm, just like you would when you're seated. Good job. Make sure you just see that black number. Where the green is a target, but you have some wiggle room when you see that black number. In 10, 5, in 3, 2, 1, and have a seat. Have a seat here. We're going to finish off this minute seated. Nice work. Form check, cadence check. Oh, so many things to think about. I love the comments. 40 seconds, nice and smooth. There's no better way than to spend entering your weekend with a nice Friday or Friday night. I don't think anyone, maybe there's some people up in New Zealand or Australia, whatever. We're entering the weekend with an amazing feeling. Hey, working hard. Let's admit it, we all love it. In 3, 2, big jump here. Okay, Nathan, just keep focused. Make sure you relax, you breathe, and your lower spine is not taking all of the force. Remember, when you bend forward, you compress your spine. It doesn't seem like that. It seems like you stretch your spine. You don't. Your vertebrae compress together. Okay, 30 down. Now, what's that cadence? What's that cadence? Nice. Elbows down, shoulders relaxed. Good job, good job. We got it. All right, we're entering the 2 minutes. Let's break this down. Let's get from switchback to switchback, okay? We're going up slight grade here. I just want you to focus on this power until we make that next switchback. Don't look at time. You're not allowed to look at time until the next switchback. Come on. Don't look up. Keep focused on you and your pedaling. Good job, good job. All right, switch back. You can take a peek. 1:15 to go, okay? Get your mind off of the time, okay? Use the terrain and the visual to support this hard mental effort. We're going up a climb, 5%. No, it doesn't change your trainer in a group workout. Use the terrain to trick your mind. We're well under a minute, okay? 45 seconds. I need Nathan to increase his cadence. Nice. Okay, we're gonna enter into our last minute in about 35 seconds. Nathan's heart rate, 177. He's pushing hard, like the final kilometers in a race. Most likely this is where Nathan would be if he was doing Bologna next week on the second time up that climb. All right, 15 seconds. I want you to stay seated for the first 30 on this one, and we're gonna jam out of the saddle for the last 30 of this minute. Stay seated. Rev it up through cadence. 2, 1. Nice work. Nice work. Get through the pave. Get through the pave. We're going to be up and standing in 3, in 2, stand on up. Come on, last 30 here. Push, hips are back, elbows relaxed, weights off the front end. Look on the screen, you can see the finishing arch. Hold it all the way through, all the way through. 5, 2, 1, and done. Good job. Good job.
Wah!
All right. Good job, Nathan. And admit, I want everyone to type in, was 2 harder than 3 or 3 harder than 2?
Whew. Different. Just different.
Yep. Very different.
Like, that was easier mentally, but I don't think physically.
Yeah.
Interesting enough. Because
yes,
it's like I'm chasing in that, and I know I can like just push through at the end, and like it's a finish line feeling, whereas the other one is like you're being chased and like you're fading.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yep.
Are you kidding me? 300 watts feels like this, and you feel like you're like, you know, anyways, maybe that's psychological about what I like. Maybe that's the perfectionist in me thinking you can't fail. But then the grabbing's like, I'm not failing, I'm grabbing for something.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that was, whew. People, these workouts, these are so good. I was not expecting this to feel that racy. Like, I looked at this like, okay, 1 minute, you know, red, okay, 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this feels like, it's perfectly set up too for my zones. I can tell I'm hitting 185 right when I should in my heart rate. Like, okay, so good.
Yeah, you know, I think that because we lead ourselves with our FTP, the greatest thing about doing these group workouts is that it doesn't matter where you are on the fitness scale. When Nathan's feeling the 1 minute in the red, even if you're 50 watts below Nathan, you're still feeling what he's feeling, the red.
Yeah.
It's all individualized for you. And we can all work out together, no matter anything, our goals or anything. We're all gonna get more fit out of this. Okay, we have last one. I like to call the last one the best one.
Ooh.
This is where the magic happens.
Hey, quick question coming in.
Yes.
What's my FTP? I think I'm like 330-ish right now. Pretty sure I could check for you. I just let Zwift set it for me off of a hard effort, so I think it's around
really
330,
good.
335.
Maybe at the end of this, Nathan, we might have to do a group. We'll have to watch you do maybe a ramp test. FTP.
Oh
That'd
my
be fun for everyone to watch.
Yeah, it will definitely
cheer you on.
That'll be real fun.
Okay.
Real fun.
Okay, listen up. We have 1 minute here and 3 seconds. We're gonna be out of the saddle for the first 30 seconds.
All right,
come on, out of the saddle. Push it. Don't get too excited yet. We have a nice, strong 8 minutes here. Start with good form. Hips are back. Weight is off our bars. Hold it here. Hold it here for another 10. Then we're gonna transition to seated. In 3, 2, and have a transition here. Push. Keep it in the black. Good job, Nathan. Bring that cadence up when you can. Transitions are tough. Hold it. Look for that arch right around this corner. It's glowing for us, like the sun rising. All the way through. Okay, this next 3 minutes, stay seated. In 2, 1. All right. We're at 102% of our FTP. Okay? So I think Nathan's FTP is a little higher than 330. Good job. Good job. We need Nathan to get that cadence back up. He's into the 60s. Remember, if you get bogged down and you're in erg mode, toggle that erg mode from incline to erg mode. Reset that cadence. Good job. Good job. Okay, use a terrain on this. Though we don't feel the decline, descent, use it in your mind. Your mind is so powerful. Whatever you tell yourself, your body will follow. All right. Nice work. Get up and over this roller. Come on, use the terrain. That's our goal on this last set. Use the terrain. Get up and over Remember, you want to go through the climb, up and over this climb here. Good job. In 10 seconds, we're standing. Nathan is biased. In 3, in 2, stand on up, push. Come on, up, up, up. Hips your back, hold it here. Hold it for 20. Come on, get over the crest of this climb. We're gonna gain speed. Hold it. 10. Come on, come on, come on. Hips your back. Transition in 3, 2, 1, and have a seat. Have a seat. Nice. Okay. We're on that, well into that last minute. Good job. 40 seconds here. Nice and relaxed. Keep it in the zone. Keep in the block number. There's some wiggle room. Hold it. Look ahead. See the arch. We're going to enter into our last transition. Think about it. Last segment of our day. In 10. Yes. Good job with the cadence, Nathan. Look at that heart rate. Upper 170s. Here we go. Quite a drop here. Quite a drop. 90% of our FTP. Right here. Right here. Okay. We have a form check. Shoulders down. Elbows bent. Breathing. Core engaged. No slump in our lower back. Okay. Next check. Cadence. What's going on? Is it the same place as where we started the first set of 4 minutes today? What happens to your individual cadence as you fatigue? It's all going to be personalized. You can answer this yourself. Lots of scenery to check out. Remember, mind over matter, quality over quantity. That's what we're about. What's the intention of today? Improve our fitness box. That's our threshold. How many minutes over threshold can we survive? That's what we're improving. All right, 2:45. 2:45 to go. We got this. Good job. In 35 seconds, we're standing. Yep. We are. True story. Nice work. Stay relaxed. This is it. Change is made. Magic happens. Fireworks go off. In 20, we're standing. So strong, everybody. So impressed. In 2, in 1, here we go. Let's stand right here. Right here. Push. Use the terrain. Use the terrain. Hips are back. No weight on our hands. Hold it for 10. Nice and smooth. In 3, in 2, 1. Have a transition seat. Come on. Nice work, nice work. Yes, James, feel the burn. Okay, just get to the bridge. Get to the bridge in front of us. Come on. Get to the arches. Push. Way to keep that cadence, Nathan. right, 45 to go. That's like 3 15 seconds in your brain. Down to 2 by 20 here. Come on. In 10, we're gonna give it everything we have for the last 20 seconds. In 5, you can hit the red. In 2, 1, here we go, attack, push, to the top. Whatever the top is for you, push it. Countdown, 7, 3, 2, 1, and done. Good job, everybody. Nice work.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, look
Kristin.
at that. Good job, Nathan.
That was
No.
insane. Ah, how did 305 feel like the end of the world?
Ah,
Oh. Whoa.
you will become stronger from this. I promise, you will become stronger.
Oh my gosh.
Remember, everyone, I had to mentally get my game on through workouts like this when I was training for the time trial. So there's not going to be any lack of mental strength through these next 5 weeks.
Yeah, we're doing this for 5 more weeks, guys. I don't know. I don't know what I saw. I thought what I was signing up for here, because whoa. Oh. Whew, 5 more.
That was awesome.
So good. So good.
So good.
So, let's see here. What do we got left? 5-minute cool down. So you want to speak to recovery a little bit? Kristin, you want to speak to recovery a tad maybe for everyone? Just to get some education on best recovery methods?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is that we don't recover, especially when we're riding indoors. You know, we hit an outdoor ride for 3 hours and we are kind of forced so we don't bonk. When we have an hour indoor ride, if we have our fans on and we're drinking, most often we have busy lives and we're thinking, well, that's a great calorie burn, so why would we refuel? Because, well, we're kind of defeating the purpose of why we rode. That is a lot of people's story, but truth be told, yes, beer is a acceptable. It is an acceptable recovery. It has great carbohydrates, Sean. With that,
I've been doing the NA ones, though. I do the NA ones. Alcohol wrecks Nathan, so.
oh yeah, that's not good for you, Nathan, because if you're on live, you might not have your job long. But really, if you can focus on having a protein drink, so it could be a whey protein or, you know, depending on what is okay with your stomach these days, you know, you want to do that within 30 minutes. But I can tell you what I've been doing more and more often is I start drinking as my recovery. Remember, whey protein is a great way to hydrate, okay? It actually really helps you and holds the water and it helps you hydrate and replenish. So I'll go out for even an outdoor hour mountain bike ride or hour and a half, and I'll have one bottle with just water and the other bottle will have my water and whey protein. So I sometimes start doing my recovery as my hydration process as well. So that's one of the things when you do hours Zwift rides is you want to, it's not necessarily that you're going to bonk because your glycogen stores are enough that you can fuel yourself through an hour ride. But if you eat a little bit during that ride, you're preparing for the rest of your day and your ride tomorrow, okay? So it's not as much about fueling for your hour ride, it's recovering for your next ride.
During the effort.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of times people don't understand. A lot of times I'll be thinking, am I thinking about tomorrow and hydrating for tomorrow even during this ride, right? Like overdoing it a little bit because I need to put that extra in for sure.
Yeah,
great question. Great question coming in, Kristin. Real quick here.
Yeah.
Loving this from Internet Watts. Are these every Friday at noon? CST available? Yes. It's on the companion app every Friday. Jump on in. Check out Zwift Insider. Also did an article on the first 2 with the workouts shown in there. So definitely go check that out on Zwift Insider. They will be in the companion app, and it will be every Friday. And we'll be focusing for these 2 Fridays. This is on Bologna, And next week we'll be on London International focused workout to get ready specifically for the classics. I think we were chatting a little bit about maybe like an Alp to Zwift, Kristin, like like trying to get ready for a good Alp run maybe for one of the workouts too.
Yeah, that would be great. And, just also talking through Alp to Zwift and kind of different ways to approach it. So for those of you who like to ride it weekly, there's some different ways that you can really mix things up on Alp to Zwift that I've done for myself.
Debbie in shape, saying thanks for the tip. I was starving today. Heck yeah, Debbie. And Debbie, great job on your PR on the Alp to Zwift. Maybe we'll have to get you even stronger for it and learn how to take it on. So.
Well, yeah, maybe she can give us some tips, Nathan.
Yeah, well, she's on it every day, right? Maybe we need to get Debbie in.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll get Debbie in on the program here. Hey, let's take a quick look at this here then. Kristin, you want to analyze my workout for me and how I did?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So you can see, look at these, well, now I can see it. I'm like, I need my glasses on. But you can also see, as I spoke, look at that last section of Nathan's. I would say just by visually looking at this, that was probably his best effort. As you can see, that red is just slightly above that gray line. He did give it more than he thought he had in the end. Sometimes, even when I find that we have a cold or we're a little bit sick, but look at that 85 TSS. I can tell you right now, anytime you're above 75 or 80 in an hour TSS, that's your stress score. That is legit. 100 would actually equal that you rode your FTP for 60 minutes, okay? So that's what the 100 TSS would mean. So he did 85 for the complete hour. That included warm up and warm down. So that was great. 253 average.
Wow.
We took hard recovery. That was
906 calories. Oh my gosh, in 1 hour.
Oh, Nathan.
Wow. That's pretty intense.
Three pieces of pizza.
Three pieces of pizza. There we go. One more question here. We did get a lot of comments about my cadence, that my cadence was so much different than yours. I'm a mountain biker.
Yeah.
You're a time trialist. Does that speak to that a little bit or no?
Yeah, what I would say, Nathan, is there's a difference between mountain biker, time trialist, road racer, but also those of you who also ride in Zwift. There are different ways and different methods. What I find is when I teach or coach an athlete that's hybrid, when we actually transfer from indoor winter riding to some outdoor hybrid, I can tell you right now that I have to work on people's cadence. We tend to get lower inside, but I'll tell you there is not a perfect sweet spot cadence. What I'll say is don't try to match someone's cadence that's 10 more than you. If you want to increase your cadence a little bit, it's going to be about 2 or 3 RPMs at a time. Sometimes up to 4 RPMs of change takes a year, okay, to feel comfortable. There are different workouts that we can work on your cadence. Today is not one of them. But next week, I can show you how to work a little bit on cadence when we're actually spending a little bit more time under threshold. It's a lot easier to work on cadence when we're in a tempo zone, okay? So we can do that.
Gotcha. So yeah, on the cadence side, that's Nathan's cadence. Essentially, that's Nathan's cadence. So we'll work on it, but it's okay.
Yes.
Right on. Well, Kristin, this was awesome. Like, I got an amazing workout. This is stage 2 of my race. I went out on Tuesday on the mountain bike with the road ride and had a really, really good workout, actually. So I'm feeling that still. Didn't really ride yesterday. Yesterday was my day off. It might have been a little bit cold coming in, but we're good to go. Yeah. And so this is great openers.
By the end, you got opened up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Exactly.
We'll see Green Bay Reforestation Ramble tomorrow for War, so that'll be fun. Great opener for that. Kristin, I'm looking forward to next week. Really, really appreciate this. We're so happy to have you here every Friday. Guys, you want to check this out, make sure to hit those subscribe buttons. We did get a question. Kristin, you want to just shout out, do you have a YouTube or do you mainly socials? Like, where's all that existing? Because we did get some questions about how to connect with you.
Yeah, you can find me on social media at, I'm on Instagram at kstrong22. But I do, I obviously do a lot of different kinds of coaching through my coaching portal, which is KX3.
Yeah, and you also do Zwift rides besides this as well, don't you?
Yeah, I have one for ladies only right now on Tuesday mornings at 7:10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. But again, you can, follow me at Instagram on kstrong22 and get all the information. DM me anytime you want. I'm around.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Great. Thanks a lot, Kristin. That's awesome. Make sure to go find Kristin over on Insta. We'll be back next Friday. You can check out also the world of Zwift for how to race Bologna with all the tactics, with some look backs to iconic moments in the past. Kristin, have a great day. It was an amazing workout. And to all the viewers out there, we really appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next week. And as always, ride on.